I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-297-9788. 800-297-9788.
The Turnpike Sports Book Report.
The Turnpike Sports Book Report is brought to you by BorgataSports.com. Your favorite casinos now, your favorite sports book available anywhere in New Jersey, BorgataSports.com. Sign up at BorgataSports.com using our promo code PIKE, that's P-I-K-E, and you get a risk-free bet up to $300 and 20 bonus dollars at BorgataCasino.com. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, this week's book report. We have a whole bunch of different things to talk about. We've got another state record to talk about, got a couple data deals to talk about, a responsible gaming entry in this week's book report.
Good.
As well as some international news in terms of sports betting legislation.
International news,
yes.
Okay.
All right, just to, and we in the time we have today, if we don't get to every topic, you're going to see them on the Turnpike Sports blog. Just head on over to turnpikesportsradio.com, click on the blog button, and all this week's stories, whether we get to them on air or not, will be listed out on the blog entry for this week's book report. Let's start off with the state record, which is Nevada.
Yay, all right.
You know, it's interesting to watch every single state, and I don't know if this is pandemic influenced or not, but sports betting in every state has started to set new records.
Well, there's lots of sports to bet on. You know, like I said in the introduction, it was a busy weekend for sports.
Well, this is in terms of October here, and Nevada has set a new state record handle of $659 million. That is more than 20% compared to the handle of October of last year.
Wow.
So it's growing. It's a new all-time high in terms of state handle. They brought in just under $42.4 million in revenue and a hold of 6.4%. Again, reports on hold because of what just happened with Tennessee with that 10% legislated hold. Everyone's keeping note of what state's doing what in terms of hold percentages. The 6.4% was a higher hold than their yearly average of about 5.3%. Mobile handle, Nevada, in October was $376.8 million, or just around 57% of the total handle.
Really?
So the online side of everything is starting to grow in Nevada, too.
It's interesting that people are betting a lot in person. Very interesting.
Well, Nevada is Nevada still has that rule that you have the in-person registration.
Yeah.
And you know what? The casinos are open there. Circa Sports just launched, which gave that market a boost. Too.
Sure.
And if you've seen some of the videos from people in the Circa Sports books, it's amazing.
It looks amazing.
Then you pair that with the Circa pool that has the entire huge LED wall of all the games overlooking the pool, where you can actually walk in from the pool and go down to the book and bet. The amount of traffic they're getting in that new book is incredible.
I haven't gotten to a retail sports book lately, so
No.
I am very happy sitting on my couch using my computer or using my phone to bet.
I'll be honest with you. A lot of people like the interaction at a retail book.
Sure.
I like the ease of betting on the phone.
It's a lot of fun. I mean,
It's fun.
Let me tell you something. When I'm at a retail sports book, it's a lot of fun to watch the games. I still bet with my mobile.
Oh, yeah.
When I'm in the retail sports book, it's just that easy. Why get up off your chair and stand in line for a while, make your bet, go back, sit down, watch the game. If you win, you have to go back up and stand in line again. Hey, you know what? Even if I'm in a retail sports book, I use my phone to bet.
I would like to see a study done. I don't know if anyone's done it yet, of people in the retail books are using the online counterpart of that book that they're in.
Sure.
Versus someone else's book. What's the percentage of someone else's online book being used in another retail book? The two different brands.
Yeah.
I'm just curious to see if someone's actually done that study. I'd like to know about it. So info@turnpikesportsradio.com. Let me know if someone's done a study like that. But given Nevada's new state record and handle, it goes kind of hand in hand with what the American Gaming Association just released. They did a revenue study for the third quarter of 2020 for sports betting. Third quarter has seen a 47% year-over-year revenue increase.
Wow.
So a lot of these tax-strapped states that have sports betting are being helped by the sports betting revenue.
Of course they are. I can't believe every state hasn't passed some kind of gambling expansion legislation just to get some revenue into their state coffers to help people.
Well, according to the study, Jersey, Pennsylvania, and a couple other states, Indiana and Nevada, reported that they collected the most bets ever in October of 2020.
Wow. Okay.
And also New Jersey is on track to break Nevada's 2019 record of $5.3 billion of annual sports betting.
Wow. Come on, Jersey. We can do it.
They're getting close to it. I think they're very close. I wouldn't be surprised.
I can't do it all.
If November breaks it. And also they noted by this time next year, there's going to be as many as 35 states with legalized sports betting going.
Wow.
35
incredible.
out of 50.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yep. I think we have 21 right now, 22.
So they're talking about 14 more states. That's what they're.
I know we had a couple states pass legislation, but they're not enacted.
They're not
yet.
up and running
right,
yet.
They're not up and running yet. Going north of the border to Canada.
All right.
We have some news in terms of sports betting in Canada. Now, everyone knows that, or maybe they don't know, Canada does not have legalized single event sports betting. You can only do parlay betting in Canada.
It was like that in Delaware for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Only parlays.
So you're equating Canada with Delaware.
Yeah. It's the Delaware of the nations.
Exactly.
Yes. It's the.
Everyone can recall the.
I'm in Delaware.
Exactly. But they have legislation moving through their parliament, I guess is what it is.
Yes.
Parliament.
Yes. Where is that? Ottawa?
Ottawa.
Ottawa.
That there is legislation to legalize single event sports betting. It would be for every kind of sport except horse racing, which is still going to be controlled by different legislation.
Okay.
So they're expanding their sports betting, and one of the reasons why they have changed their attitude toward this, they had a recent study done that, and I'm going to put this in American dollars, $7.7 billion was spent by Canadians on single event betting through illegal bookies.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
And another $3 billion was done on international gaming websites for single event sports betting. So they're losing about $10 billion in revenue, according to this study.
It doesn't make sense not to have it. I mean, if you're Canada, it doesn't make sense. If you're other U.S. states that don't have sports betting, it does not make sense for you not to have it, just to bring some money into the state to help out people in this tough time.
Well, it looks like Canada's moving along in the right way.
Good.
So we'll see exactly when it goes through. Before we move on to some of the data deals, depending on how you phrase it, Thanksgiving. We just had the Thanksgiving games. It was interesting because DraftKings had been reporting that the two NFL games that were on Thanksgiving, there was 3 scheduled, one got bumped.
Yep.
They had reported about 3.5 times, just under 3.5 times, as much betting handle as the 3 NFL games did last year. Mm-hmm. They had 2 games versus 3, and they had 3 times more of the betting handle.
Okay.
Which is an interesting number. I wonder what it would have been if that third game was actually played.
And the third game would have been the best game, I think.
Well, that's what everyone was mad about when they postponed it.
Well, I actually, last week, if you remember the NFL picks, I actually picked that game. Yep. I guess we'll talk about that during the NFL pick segment.
Exactly. Well, going over to, we just had the Tyson, you mentioned at the top of the show of Turnpike, the Tyson-Roy Jones Jr. fight.
Yep, came out to a draw.
Yeah, 8-round draw. Everyone said both of them looked good, but Tyson looked really good, according to a lot of the reports. The only reason I have it in the book report was DraftKings was the official sports betting partner of the fight. Then they did a whole bunch of sports betting promos throughout the broadcast as well. They had some pre-match, pre-game sponsored programming as well, content, whatever you want to call it, since it was a digital stream. It was on Triller, Triller.com.
All right.
They even had the DraftKings Tale of the Bet original series going throughout the match itself and leading up to it to capture the sportsbook trends.
Okay.
You know, how the betting trends were going leading up to the fight,
right.
Which was interesting. It was kind of different. Same thing with the match. Remember, we were watching some of the holes had the betting options.
Yeah, I did terrible
who's
at that,
going to
by
do this, who's going to do that, the birdies, who's going to win this hole, who's going to win that hole. So we're starting to see a lot more of the sports betting options being integrated into broadcasts, and they're being integrated into the broadcast very seamlessly. Mm-hmm. And it's very nice to see that. You know, a lot of people wondered how it was going to do. A lot of people probably didn't even notice it by now.
Yeah, I know. It's becoming second nature.
Yeah, exactly.
The watch with betting information there.
Well, moving on to some of the data deals. We have soccer and basketball news to report. Liga MX, the Mexican soccer governing body, has signed an exclusive gambling data deal with Genius Sports.
Okay.
That means not only distribute and license data to the sports books around the world and around the country, in the United States here, they also will be able to distribute live streams of the games.
Oh, interesting. Good.
So people can actually watch the games through their sportsbook app. Whoever does the deal with Genius Sports will be able to get the live stream of Liga MX, so they can actually watch and bet at the same time.
Great.
Much like what we can do now in this country for a lot of different sports.
I was going to say, I'm seeing a lot of streaming soccer on the sports betting sites, the mobile sports betting sites.
And BetMGM will be the first partner for this.
Great.
Moving over to basketball. Genius Sports also has a deal with the Polish Basketball League and the Polish Basketball Association for much the same setup. Data that they can license to the different sports books around the world, and also streaming rights to the games.
Great.
And last but not least, we're going to do some responsible gaming because we are nothing if not responsible. BetMGM has done a deal with PlayPause. It's a brand new multi-state responsible gaming tool that's going to be integrated into their website.
Now, it's a tool. Okay.
It's a self-exclusion tool.
All right. Okay.
Basically, PlayPause is already, if you want to say it technically, is in a lot of the sports books already because it's run by GeoComply, which does the geolocation software.
Which are really great.
Yeah.
They really do a great job.
Under the current setup with a lot of the books, BetMGM excluding this statement here because of their deal here, every sports book has the ability for a person who is a customer of the book to put themselves on a self-exclusion list so they can stop gambling.
Sure.
It's a problem gambling tool.
Good.
What PlayPause does, it allows the player, when they put themselves into the self-exclusion list in one state, PlayPause will allow other states to block them too.
Oh, okay.
Because a lot of people have the gambling issues is that, they can't stop gambling in one state. They self-exclude themselves there. They can't resist the urge to go to the next state over.
Okay, yeah, no, that's a good idea.
So this is a national responsible gambling tool. It's already integrated into the GeoComply software. All you have to do is once they make a deal with GeoComply and also PlayPause, it's actually Conscious Gaming, which is a nonprofit under GeoComply.
Okay.
And once they make the deal, they can actually just basically turn it on if they want to do it. So that's it for this week's book report. Anything we didn't get to, there are a couple deals in terms of sports books and retail mobile in different states around the country. Check them out at the blog. Go to turnpikesportsradio.com, click on the blog button, and you'll see all these news and notes listed there for this week's episode of the Turnpike Sports Book Report.
And that'll do it for us this week. If you're going out to one of the newly reopened casinos and sportsbooks, please be safe, and we'll see you next time on the Turnpike.